Right, hi everyone. Can you let me know if you can hear me, please? And I'll start cracking on. There's a little bit of delay, so I think we should be okay. Perfect. I'll get cracking. Right, so let's start with Bitcoin. So at this moment in time, I'll go through what I think the next week or so will play out for us, and what that will mean for the coins. At this moment in time, I think we're very range bound. I think that it's the holiday season, so you're not going to get these huge pumps unless there's retail FOMO. At this moment in time, there's no retail FOMO at all. The actual, as I showed in the last on-chain metrics video, the retail level towards the end of the year in terms of like the interest from retail, so the normal traders, the noob traders, it was at its absolute lowest at the end of the year in comparison to the whole year. So you know that retail is not in the market at this moment in time. So with that being said, you're not going to get like a holiday season type rally, but what you are going to get is just this range bound price action, because the big boys at this moment in time, they're on their holidays. They're not in the office. They're not sitting at their desk. They're not placing any big bets. So what we will see is we'll likely see, you can get these like low volumed squeezes to the upsides or squeezes to the downside, but there's not one cohort placing big bets at this moment in time. So for now, we are, and I called it pretty much, as soon as we didn't get this breakout here, we got the breakout and we didn't get above the orange box and we had this fall down, we were then just going to keep being, I think we'll still be range bound for another week or two, I really do. Just because I think nobody has placed their bets yet. We've almost had a year of being range bound in an accumulation type phase where you're slowly starting to see big institutions come on board, and as they keep coming on board, the market will grow, but we need new money, and so far we haven't had lots of new money come in from the big boys, and once the big boys come in, then the retail will come in, because obviously the big boys will push the price up. As the price goes up, retail will start getting excited, they'll come in, and that will be your blow off top, which we'll then hopefully sell into. But this is all stuff you can track on the on-chain data. But for now on Bitcoin, I think will be range bound. You get a few of the alts which are that are going quite well, that are still moving without it, just because people that are still in the space are chasing the next opportunity. But it's very gambly. It's very hard to know which ones are going to be the ones that are just going to pop over the next few days. But for instance, we've had Curve that's popped today. But let's have a look at them all. So that's what I think for Bitcoin so far. So for Ethereum, I think we couldn't get above or hold above the downtrend line. We're now just slightly above, but it's a constant bull bear battle between the trend line. So now I think we're in more of a bear flag. I think we will fill the rest of the yellow box, potentially even the green box, and if there's a real pullback, I think you'll get the bottom yellow box. But I think for sure we will fill this yellow box. And I think that this green box has a chance of being filled as well. So the on-chain data does look worse for Ethereum than it does for Bitcoin right now, which isn't too catastrophic, but yeah, that's just still the case for now. But yeah, that's what I think for Ethereum. I'm going to try and keep this stream under half hour, guys. Litecoin, we need it to. Litecoin is one of the ones I like the most in terms of if the on-chain starts improving, I will definitely be looking for a position in Litecoin, simply because the Litecoin Bitcoin chart looks so good, and you have this chart just coming so far down from the highs. I mean, the highs, you can go easier at 400, but I mean, Litecoin has been much higher than that. Litecoin could easily get back to, 280. But what we need to start seeing, sorry, the stream is slow. What we need to start seeing is we're now out of this downtrend line, which we had the constant battle with here. We did get a breakout there, but we couldn't close the candle well. So we got this closing, let me zoom in slightly. We got this inverse hammer close, which was not good. And then we kept staying underneath. We've now climbed above it, but now we need to get above the horizontal support. and show that there's some strength in the coin. Once there's some strength in the coin, you'll start seeing, look how low the volumes are. So once you start seeing some strength in the coin, the volumes will increase. So here, you were able to hold this higher level. You didn't come down, you didn't fill the yellow box. You were able to hold that higher level, and then you were able to climb above. So as soon as you got this candle here, which is very small in volume, but it closed above the resistance. So in the next candle, you got a huge pump and all the volume came in. So that's by it had to show its strength first for the volume to come in, which is exactly what we need here. For it to climb up, you'll probably get it once it climbs above the horizontal support, but it will have to stay above the horizontal support. I don't think we'll just have a simple close above, because this was a clear uptrend. We're now in sideways action. So you need to show that you can hold, claim, and then hold higher levels. But that's what I'm looking out for on Litecoin. So I'm going to cover a few of the main ones. I said I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet, so I will. No bullish yes, we have got a bullish divergence on Solana actually. We've held the horizontal support, which is good. So I mean, I'm not going to add into this, but if I'm holding it, I'm happy to hold. But this is not something I'm looking for an active trade at this moment in time. There's only 2 coins that I think really stand out, and I will get to them. But for now, Solana, I'm not like, it's a bit of a weird looking chart. I'm not fully interested in it. I have it as a long-term bag. We have it in our 2K challenge, but that's it. I'll let the chart give me more information as time goes on. BNB looks okay. So we have this wedge-like pattern that it broke out of. It's come down. It's retested the horizontal support. It's held above again. I think we have actually. Yep, we have another bullish divergence. So this could force us up to 545 level. Similar with Solana, we might go to 190. Yep, it can take you up to 190. But that's where I'm at with BNB and Solana. I'm not looking for an active position, but I wouldn't even look to place a trade on it, to be perfectly honest. But I'm very comfortable holding them in the short term, mid term, and long term. Sometimes I'm not comfortable holding them in the short term, but I will hold them anyway. For now, because we look okay, I'm still even comfortable just to hold it in the short term. So look at Matic. Matic is just a bit of a monster, like we covered in the last stream. I would only consider filling a position in this yellow box, to be perfectly honest with you. And I mean, Bitcoin's gonna have to go to 41 for this to fill. So whether we actually get that or we don't get that, we don't know as of yet. We'll have to start seeing as the bets come in early January what we think is then likely to happen. For now, we just know we're range bound, and whilst we're range bound, it's very unlikely Matic comes to here. But I'm not buying in randomly. I buy in according to the box strategy, and that's it for Matic. So, but with Matic, I'm very happy to hold. It's one of the long-term bags, like all the coins you see here. Sorry, let me explain the list. So we have Bitcoin dominance up here, and we have all the main coins that I like the most that I hold in the portfolio, other than ADA. But I know a lot, so Cardano. I know a lot of guys like Cardano. So for that reason, I put it in the list anyway. But then all the other ones that I sort of like, that we flip in and out of, they're there under mid caps. Over the coming days, you'll be able to download this list. I'm still trying to work it out in terms of how you can import the list. You have to import the list and you have to download the setups. But I'm still working out how we're going to do this. Next is Chainlink. Did I do DOT? No, I don't think I did DOT. So DOT, again, we need to claim above the horizontal support. Claim above the next one. You might start then seeing some volume come in. Like here we started, no, we didn't even get volume there. No, volumes have been pretty much very level. But like for here, you got big volume as you were able to claim and hold the horizontal support. So that might be something that we look for, is these big volume spike candles that can then take you higher. Let's look at Chainlink. In the flag-like formation, it did break down slightly. It's now managed to reclaim it and hold the horizontal support. I'm not too bullish on this right now. I am long-term. It's one of my long-term ones, and it's one I actually hold in cold storage. So I'm very actually happy to hold this long-term. But right now, would I look to add? Do I think it even looks strong? Probably not. I mean, we didn't even get a bullish divergence. No, we didn't even get a bullish divergence on it. So let's just see how this plays out. I'm not panicking with anything. I don't think it's going to go down loads. I just think we're still range bound, and things will continue to be range bound whilst Bitcoin is range bound. Aidax. So we did actually fill a local yellow box here on Aidax, but I mean I wouldn't have filled here. I would have wanted to come down and fill on the trend line basically. It's possible we do get a breakout, but I'm not looking to fill this area. I wouldn't refill again on the yellow box. Let me move that right in so you guys know it's sort of out of the way. And I would look to maybe, if it found some support, I wouldn't fill directly on the line. I'd wait for it to hit the line, maybe bounce on the line, and then I'd look to add. But yeah, that's the only time I'd look to add to Aidax. Luna, absolute monster as per usual. It's creating a bit of a bear flag. We could even get this pull down to maybe here, 75, retest this horizontal level. Again, we need a big Bitcoin pull down to fill this yellow box, but I wouldn't look to, this is how the yellow boxes work. And we filled this in the 2K challenge. We had an order at 51 and an order at 50. And annoyingly so, we got the order at 51 filled, but not 50. I think it went to like $50.20, so we missed out by 20 cents. But hey ho. I'm not just going to add randomly into it, especially as it's coming off a bearish divergence. Yeah, one bear div, sort of two, yeah, pretty much two bear divs. I would look for this to come right in here, to be honest, and that's where I'd look to fill positions. Curve, another monster. Wouldn't look to fill anytime soon. The main yellow box worked an absolute treat as usual, and this was the main box that had been generated from the whole move up. Yeah, and it's now looking like it's going to, I mean, at the moment it's creating a really bad bearish divergence. So it might be worth, if this doesn't break the all-time high and it closes below, I would say maybe sell some more. But we've already sold quite a lot of this. I think we sold in the 6s in here originally. So I'm comfortable holding the amount I'm holding, and I'll just let it play to the end of the bull run, basically. But my thoughts are that we're in this almost like stagnant like phase. There's also an accumulation type phase, and in the new year I think you'll start seeing more flows of money into crypto and specifically into Bitcoin first. Once I start seeing that, I'll start allocating some money into Bitcoin and then into alts, because the alts will then likely follow it, because the money will flow from Bitcoin into alts. Let's look at Aidax. I know someone asked for it. Again, we need to claim above this horizontal support. For now, not interested at all, to be honest. Yeah. Sorry, there's a lot of coins to get through, so I will be fast. Phantom looks very good. It looks the best out of most of them. We managed to hold above the downtrend line, which is very good, and created a bit of a bull flag. It could even be a wedge. It's probably actually better as a wedge. And that's why we've got this move up now. We need to close above this horizontal support. Horizontal resistance, sorry. We need to close above this. I wouldn't look to add any of this yet. I did sell half of my amount. I bought in here at 133 and sold at like 220. Yeah, it was somewhere in here, I think. I sold half of the bag. So I still have half of the bag now, but it's a small amount. I didn't have a huge position from the get-go, so I'm actually quite happy just to hold this and see how it plays out. Until I start seeing some really, really bad negative signs, I won't look to sell. Sand hit an orange box, and now it's looking like it's coming down. Might even do a small flag and down again, maybe even a pennant-like pattern and come down again. Wouldn't look to trade this anytime soon. Man, a similar story, but this has been range bound for the last month or so now, pretty much. Again, nothing interesting. Wouldn't even feel the yellow box. We want to see it reclaim the horizontal resistance. Again, nothing. When we're in these holiday type seasons, and with December the volumes were low, there's just no interest in the coins, so they do end up being range bound. So for the moment, don't try and trade, because all you end up doing is trying to trade the chop and basically getting chopped out, and you end up doing a lot of percent of your portfolio, and you'll realise, well, hang on, over the last few weeks, it's gone from like, say in here, 3 to a high of 390, back down to 320. So you may as well have just held it from 3 to 320, and you'd made 8%, 7%. It's not worth trading the chop because it doesn't give you any clear signs. So just leave it. ENS, there's no data on ENS pretty much. I mean, like, how am I supposed to work with this. But overall, the project I really like, so I hold it as a long-term bag. Mina is like a polka dot alternative, so I do really like this. It's held horizontal support here quite well. We'd like to see it reclaim here, create a new uptrend, and then potentially we'll see volume come in if the market looks a bit more rosy. See, look how low the volumes are here. But if the market looks a bit more rosy and we can reclaim this one and get above this high, then you might see a spike up to here. And that's what would then interest me if I saw the volume come in on strength of it holding above this horizontal resistance here. XRP, not interested in. I know someone wanted Doge, so I'll do that. I'm now going to fly through all the coins that people requested. So Doge, range bound, not interested. You might even get something like this. No, let's try higher. Okay, so this could become interesting. But for now, I'm not interested. But if we start seeing, no, there's no bull divs. This is potentially worth tracking for a little. So you might get a move like this, something, and then a pop. But let's see. Not interested for now. Algo, probably one of. I like it as a project, but one of the ugliest charts going. I mean, it's been range bound since September, pretty much. Not interested. Tezos is one I like. Okay. So at this moment in time, you've created sort of a bull div, you sort of haven't. But what I like is it's got this rough uptrend and it's been squeezed in by the downtrend line. So if we can hold above this for a few more days and we start seeing some volume come in, so if we start seeing this volume instead of go downtrending, start to see it uptrend slightly, then it might be worth seeing how a break above the downtrend line does. And if you can start to see the volume is uptrending, that might encourage you to jump in and take the trade. But this is one I do actually quite like. Compound is similar, but we need it to break out and claim above this horizontal support. So let's see how we go with that, because this has been downtrending since I think it's over here. So May time. So I mean, when this one pops, this will pop. But yeah, for now it's not ready yet. Sushi. So I did warn about sushi. We sold into the low 10s, so we got it up here. I mean, you had it over here at 76 on the RSI, so it's really overbought, which is why I made the post in the week about selling it. And I think we got out at 10.20 in the 2K. You'll be able to go back and see what price we got out on. Or just track the time in which I made the post and where we sold in 2K challenge. I mean, you've doubled your money in sushi in the last 2 weeks, pretty much. So, and it's so oversold and the volume is so big. So just get out, because with this run up here, it's going to have a slight pullback, which we see. I mean, you can get it sort of go. Let me get the pen out. Is it a pen? A brush. So you might get something like that, and it might bull flag and pop again. But for now, it's so oversold. It's not worth me taking that chance on it. So for now, I just track it. I take profits on it. Bear with me. But yeah, it might do that sort of formation. Be range bound in here and then pop. But for now, the RSI is not good for us. So forget the risk reward on it is not great. So just forget about it. Take the profits that you would have had from. I think we got in somewhere up here, so we've actually not lost any money on it, and it was one of the worst bleeding coins. But the good news is we've got out pretty much of our money back, and it will probably have another downturn. So we might even be able to add somewhere on this horizontal support. But let's see how it goes. Somebody asked for VET. So VET is in this massive sort of uptrend channel. I would need to see it claim above this horizontal resistance and definitely not break down. But we have had a bull div, so hopefully we get a further move up, at least to the horizontal resistance. But again, these aren't good enough risk rewards for me to take up active trades. Tezos and also Compound, but Compound will still take some time to play out. But Tezos is the one I'm looking most likely that there may be an opportunity there, but there still may not be. But that's what I'm looking at for now. DAG is now back in profit for us. Again, you can see we'll have this uptrend. It's found support at horizontal supports and bounce, which is important. It's then claimed above them, again claimed above them, and now holding above. So this is very good. This looks much more bullish for us. I mean, let's see how we go, because we have created a bear div here. But we might need to just come back down to here, be range bound for a bit, and then have another go. But yeah, that's it for that one. Atom has broken out the downtrend. So if you're holding this, well done. But I would not have bought into this rise up here, because you can see here we've created a we haven't created a bear div actually, but in here we were looking like we were going to have a bear div. So the risk reward was not on our side. So this is then playing a 50-50 move. I mean, so you'll win half the time, you'll lose half the time. So it's not worth making a trade on that. But well done to anyone that's holding it. I would say you could take some percent out here. Maybe if it does like a bear flag, you can then leave it, wait for it to pop again, take some percent out up here. But let's see how it plays out for now. I wouldn't have too much panic on it. Alpha is another one I like. So we might end up, I mean, this will take some more time to play out, but we might get a pop, squeeze into the pinpoint, and a pop out. At this moment in time, it's holding the levels, but the volume overall has been downtrending massively. And you can see, even with, you get the big spike every once in a while, but it's still downtrending slightly. So for us, it's just not interesting. Let's look at Alice. Again, it's held higher levels, so it's okay. The downtrending volume recently, even though it's been going up, not interested. You know what, with Alice, if we're looking for a long-term hold, this might not be a disastrous position to add into. But if we want to put $200 into it, to go and put $50 into it here might not be such a bad shout. But I'd still want it to see it come down to here, hold this support, find a bull div, and go from there. So I probably will actually wait for that. Let's move on. HNT, somebody asked me for the other day, so I'm now charting it now. In this big wedge-like pattern, it filled in the yellow box well and it's bounced, but now really finding it hard to stay above here. But it almost is in a massive bull flag. So let's see how it plays out. It is definitely interesting. I wouldn't look to trade it here, but if I was holding it, I would definitely hold it and see how it plays out. Tomo, because somebody asked for this. Again, weird chart. Let me get rid of the volume. The volume is ugly downtrending though. Yeah, just an ugly chart. It's held the horizontal supports really nicely, but it's made divergences here. So I'd want to see it reclaim here. I would want to see it be range bound in this area until it hits the downtrend line, and then I'd want some volume backed breakout above, and that would encourage me to buy. But for now, not really interested in adding. If I really love the project, and I don't know enough about it to tell you if I love it or not. If you guys have done your research, you really like it, I would say even just to add some here is not too bad a spot to add, considering when the highs were up at the 4s and we're now in the 195, so you've got a 50% discount. Ocean, somebody asked for this. Ugly chart. It's held a rough uptrend, but it can't seem to now stay above the uptrend. It filled the yellow box and had this like really odd pump, because you went all the way up to 130 and came down and closed at 92 cents. So it had like a 30% move, and then no, it had more. It made like a 80% move and then came back 30% from the high. So just ugly. I don't want to be playing this. If I was playing this, I want to see it reclaim the horizontal resistance, get back into the uptrend, and then make some moves above this horizontal resistance. But at this moment in time, there's not enough risk reward, there's not enough good data for me to analyze it and play with. Let's look at Nord. Again, I actually quite like the chart overall. It's possible you could consider adding if you love the chart long term here, because you've got this like downtrend, but it's almost like a curved sweeping downtrend. I would look to potentially add some dollar here, but I'd be looking more for this area to add if it got there. because it would have the main uptrend line be backed with horizontal support as well. You'd like to see it hit here, hold above, create some bull divs, and then go. But that's why I'd be looking to add Nord. I can't remember who it was that asked me for this. But yeah, it's not too bad. The chart is a bit weird, but it's also quite nice as well. QRDO, just not enough information. If anything, it could be in this wedge-like formation, but yeah, just weird overall. You could have made this a wedge coming down here, and then it's done this mad breakout. So yeah, just not enough info for me to trade it, and it's not, it's created a bear div here. So I wouldn't be looking to long this here for certain. If you're in it and you got in it below the 4s, I would say take some profits. Now looking at Rose. Again, quite a nice chart, but I'd be looking to take some profits here just because the uptrend has been so steep. But yeah, these coins are odd. I can't remember who it was that asked me for them. I don't know enough about them to give you good information on it. In terms of the chart, I would say like when you've gone from 24 cent to 44 cent in 10 days, I say take some profit for sure because it will have a slight pullback. I mean, this one here went up from 20 cent to 43, back down to 23. So it shows you the potential of what it can do. And we saw with Curve. Curve shot up to 6, came down to 3, now back at 6. So with these types of coins, they can go down just as fast as they went up. So I would say when you get these big spikes, take some profits off the table, even if it's just 30%, 20%, 50%, whatever it is. Take some off the table so that you book some profits. Let's go back to Bitcoin and just do last thoughts. So yeah, we're still really range bound. I think range bound is anything from 45,500 to 51,500. So I think we can be in this phase for weeks. I really do, because I think for the big boys to place bets, they'll place small bets, and as the direction starts becoming more known, the bets will then start flooding in. But that takes a few weeks for it to happen, and there's no other like distressing signs in the on-chain, but there's no ultra bullish signs in the on-chain. A lot of the indicators say that we're reasonably in the more, not even oversold territory, but more in a nice buying territory. So, and it's really reasonably close to being oversold. So, especially with a lot of the alts. So, I would say just hodl what you've got. Do not trade the chop, because trading the chop will kill your portfolio. And I would say just wait for the information to become more clear before you start placing more decisive bets in terms of, oh yes, Harmony 1, sorry, I've completely forgotten about it. I will do a post on this one, or I'll add it to next live stream. I'll do a post on it regardless for you, because I know you have asked about this one. Apologies, I completely forgot. But yes, overall, I would not trade the chop, and just hold. Wait for the information to become more decisive. If it becomes a lot more bull, you can consider borrowing some USDT on margin in your account. If the information starts becoming bad, you can take some more profits on the coins that have run better. But for now, don't trade the chop. Wait for the information to become more clear. That's it. Cheers, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If there's any questions, ask me in the pro chat, and I'll get back to you because I'm going to go and have some dinner now. The two coins I was interested in were Tezos, but I'm not placing trades on this. I'm just not placing trades on these just yet because they've not shown me enough data. But it was Tezos, Alpha was one, and Comp was one. The Alpha and Comp are not looking as good as Tezos right now, but Tezos I still wouldn't trade it yet. I need it to give me more confirmation. But yeah, that's it from me. If there's any questions, ask me in the pro chat. But yeah, that's it. I hope you wish you all a happy new year. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Cheers, guys.